Carl, stress can cause a whole lot of different problems.
Absolutely. I'm a chiropractor. I deal a lot with back pain and upper back pain and neck pain. And those are the ones that I see all the time come in, where it's just structural body aches that are caused by it. But you can get any types of ailment that are caused by stress. Middle ear issues. I had a person last week who had been through all of the gamut of tests, CT scans, x-rays, MRIs, trying to figure out what was going on, why they were unable to get up, and they were sick. And they got no answers from the traditional route. Came in here, worked on them. First day, they were helped in. They walked out without any issues, and that was just one visit, because so much stress was on them when someone had passed in their family. And so those stressors, where there's a big event and then you have a sickness along with that at the same time, is almost always going to be a stress-related thing.
So it was totally emotional.
Yep, absolutely emotional. And our emotional and structural body have a lot of connections, as well as other things that you might not link to it. A cold or a flu could easily be linked to it as well. The low back pain, as I had mentioned earlier. All these things are interlinked because they're all part of your body.
Does the body ever say, hey, listen, I'm just going to give you some real pain so that I can have a rest?
That's exactly what it is. What we do in this modern world is we keep pushing ourselves and pushing and pushing and pushing. And we just take coffee, we take aspirin, we just medicate and get through it, or we give ourselves coffee or energy drinks to get through it. Eventually there's a point where the body says, you're not going to do it anymore. You're going to listen, and you're going to listen because you're going to be laying in bed unable to move, or you can be laying passed out because your head to fall down because the body just couldn't take anymore. And if you don't listen to the body, it will make you listen eventually.
So you as a chiropractor, should we come and get regular checkups? I mean, for goodness sake, we take a car and do so, don't we?
Absolutely. If you value your body more than you do your car, it would be a good idea to look after the body. We oftentimes do maintenance checks 3 monthly, about is what we can keep people going at pretty well. And with that, you keep the structural body in line, and you also try and get rid of some of that stress and any other things that are going on in the body. The adjustments are a good way to release that because of our sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system. They're parts that kind of make us have that fight or flight response. And there's also the rest and relax response, which is the other side of that. And it's really important to keep those balanced. And if you're too stressed out, always thinking about what needs to be done next, out on the farm, trying to think about what crops need to come in or how the animals are doing, you're going to be in that sympathetic response, the fight or flight, always on edge. And you do that too long, your body gets run down, you get run down, you start getting the aches in the back, you start getting overly stressed, and you can't sleep. That's another really common one. And when you start not sleeping, that's when those other injuries are going to really build and compound and become even worse than they would have been otherwise.
There's those who would say, no one's going anywhere near my back because I've had back operations, and no one's going to start doing any more damage in there.
All the time. And another thing you hear with that is, I had a back operation and the pain's still there. Those are two things that you hear quite a lot, that you're not going near it and the pain's still there anyways. And in the technique that I do, and that several chiropractors will do out there, is that you're a bit more gentle than they typically think. They always think of wrenching and cracking and twisting on all these bits. And I would possibly agree, you don't want to overly twist that low back surgery a lot. So you just got to find the cause of the pain, and it's not necessarily that you need that back twisted. It might be that there's something referring from an emotional cause that has tightened that back up over the years, or there's a food that's irritating the lining of your gut, and that's causing the back pain. So you have to find the cause for the pain and then take care of that. And it's rarely ever, unless you've been hit by a car or didn't have your parachute open when you jumped out of a plane or something of that nature, it's rarely ever this simple structural answer that's the problem.
So you're finding the cause, not the symptom.
Exactly. And that's where chiropractic work is really good, especially the type that we do here, is you're finding the cause of the issue. You're not masking it with drugs and the same adjustment all the time. You're trying to figure out what's causing it, adjusting it, and telling that person how they can help themselves with that stressor, with that cause.
So people pull a muscle and they actually don't put that down to the fact that they're stressed.
Absolutely. Well, muscles are essentially rubber bands that can contract and expand. And so what we have to do is figure out what's causing that muscle to be the issue. Because you wouldn't think that if you have a rubber band gun or something that breaks, it wouldn't be the rubber band having some issue. It's because there's something wrong that's tightened it up or made it loosen up too much. And if it's tightened up, it's usually some sort of stress that makes you tight. Just like if you grind your teeth or clench your teeth under stress, that's going to be part of the reasoning that it happens.
So the answer is
Come and see a chiropractor.
Come and see a chiropractor. Come and see somebody who addresses what's causing it. If you have a bad diet, there's going to be something in the diet. If you have a very stressful life, it's going to be something in your stressful life. The trick is pinpointing exactly what it is and managing those exact causes, and then maintaining you in better health.
So you look at a farmer who's got high mortgage rates and low prices, they're a dead sitter for stress.
Exactly, but they have to address that, and in our routine is how we address that. So that mortgage rate isn't going to go away, the other stressors aren't going to go away. That's part of our modern life. We have to manage that with our routine, going to bed at a good hour, waking up at a good hour, not having too much coffee and too much other stimulants that are going to be pushing us too hard, dealing with the feelings that stress causes. When you're not feeling like you're making enough to pay off the mortgage and the water's coming up over your head and you just can't deal with it right now, get that out of your system. Don't hold on to it, build it up, and have to be the tough one to not let anybody see it. Expressing that and letting people help you is how you get on top of that and how you keep yourself above the water and succeeding and still going to work and getting those mortgage payments paid.
You really just can't convince yourself though, can you?
No, you need to keep working at it. It's an everyday thing. You can't get over it. You can't convince yourself it's not an issue and then it's just done. It needs to be worked at every single day. And you need to build into your routine exercise, eating right, having good things that can get you away from it, taking vacations every once in a while.
Carl, when you treat somebody, do you suggest that their partners come in with them?
Absolutely, because they're both dealing with it. The wife is going to be the support a lot of the time and going to be there in the background, and they need to know what's going on, and they're going to have stress too on the side of it as they're worried about the partner. And so they're both equally important to treat, and there's going to be a lot going on in that family that needs to be addressed to help support them.